What's up, guys? Jason back to my channel, and tonight I'll be doing a review for AEW All In London 2024. And tell you the truth, guys, I was about to finish this video for the first time and stuff, and also my camera went off by itself, and the second time it did again when I had to redo the video again. So I gave up on the second time. So just letting you guys know if it happens again. I don't know. But anyways, pretty sure I hope it doesn't while I'm making this video. But just letting you guys know, yes, I was super pissed off on the second round. I had to make the second round, so I was supposed to finish. So sorry I didn't make the video after AEW All In was over. Um, yeah, sorry about that. I didn't do it finish up during the day. So I'm gonna do this very late at night. So let's get to it then. With the first pre-show match, a 16-person tag team match. Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Mike Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, Ari Daivari, Jay Lethal, Santum Singh, Anthony Ogogo versus Kyle Fletcher, Rocky Romero, Kip Sabian, Tommy Billington, Leo Rush, Action Andrade, and Top Flight. After some more banter at the pre-show panel, the cat sends things down to ringside, where Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Matt Menard welcome us and get us prepared for our first match of the evening. A six-man tag team match that is late and advertised gets everyone on the show. Jay Lethal and Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington kick things off on the first two legal men in the ring at the start of the match as Don Callis joins the commentary team on the call for this cluster, of an opener. After some fast-paced action, all 16 end up in the ring for a wild brawl that pops the crowd. In a cool visual, the smallest person in the match and the tallest, Leo Rush and Sanctum Singh, have a face to belly button stare down in the middle of the ring. A ring four-man leap from the top rope to the floor. The spot clears the ring. This allows pairs of people to take turns hitting shine high spots in the solo spotlight, culminating with Dante Martin hitting a top rope scissor leg drop for the win. So winners: Kyle Fletcher, Rocky Romero, Kip Sabian, Tommy Bennington, Leo Rush, Action Andrade, and Top Flight. Alright, next match is Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Boat Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. The commentator set up what they say will be the first of many big announcements tonight. The first one is a promotional trailer announcing AEW Grand Slam Australia for February 15, 2025 at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, Australia. Our adapt now set Rasa. We return into Wembley Stadium for our second match of the evening. On the 0 hour pre-show, Stokely Hathaway makes a grand entrance, being carried like Michael Jackson and Wembley from years past as he heads to the ring for a mixed tag team action. Hathaway personally handles the introduction for his partner every night is Saturday night, and out comes Chris Statlander, the theme for their opponents' heads, and out comes the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii, followed by Will Nightingale. Alright, the bell sounds official ruined this one. After an initial strong start from the babyface duo, some cheap heel tactics lead to Statlander and Hathaway setting into a comfortable offensive lead. This continues for several minutes until finally Hathaway and Ishii end up in the ring. To the surprise of everyone, Hathaway hits a big move, but Ishii sells it as he celebrates. Hathaway also tries a 10-punch spot on Ishii on the ropes in the corner, but again Ishii acts like he didn't feel thing and Donkey Kong's Hathaway into the mat for his troubles. Nightingale hits the ring to get rid of Statlander, leading to Ishii hitting his finisher on Hathaway for the victory with the win. Nightingale will now get to pick the stipulation for her CMLL Women's World Championship defense against Statlander at AEW All Out 2024, which is which will be September 7th. So winners are Will Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. Alright, next match, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Kazuri Shibata, and Devon Aries versus Don Speed Kingdom and Cage of Agony. As they continue to rush from match to match and segment to segment, making the 20-hour show feel like a rush. As we head to the top of it's the person that wrote this thing, not me, of the stage. Inside Wembley Stadium, out comes Arthur Martin Hart and Tony Khan, the AEW person. For a long drone, nothing crowd begins booing. Blah blah. Oh, they were just announcing thing before this. We rushed to announcement. Forbidden Door will be 2025 for August 24th in London, England. After wraps the first no entrance for the next match plays Larry Rush Fest 2024 in London. Outcomes Cage of Agony trio Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. They are joined by their partners for our next multi-person cluster, the Undisputed Kingdom. Their opponents begin making their way out with Sammy Guevara and Kajori Shibata coming out first. Devon Eriks also head out, and finally the natural Dustin Rhodes. Excuse me, I'm sorry guys. All 10 men meet at the end of the entrance ramp at ringside and begin a wild multi-person brawl, about the fifth one of the night. Already before the match begins, everyone except Guevara and one of their opponents end up in the ring with the four hails on the middle ropes and the corners, but they're, wide open and a free target. The four baby faces run and hit the unnatural, or whatever, that kick and that spot is called for a big pop from the UK crowd. Bishop Khan and Sammy Guevara end up as the first two men in the ring when the bell finally sounds to get the actual match portion of this melee underway. Things build up to a spot where Dustin has a field of guys on the floor and teases hitting the ropes for a big dive, but ultimately stops and does the DX crotch chop before dropping down for Proto Spinneroonie in the end. The heels grab him and throw him over the top where he crashes onto the pile of bodies anyways. A few more guys hit dives, culminating in Guevara hitting a shooting star press onto the group of guys. Back in the ring, Dustin comes within seconds of getting the win. After a big Canadian destroyer, Cage knocks Guevara off the top, but is stopped by Von Erich. Everyone ends up in the corner for an insane stacked spot in the corner. We see a double powerbomb, double suplex off the top that leads to everyone crashing and burning. Mike Bennett is stuck in a sleeper hold by Shibata on the other end of the ring. Moments later, Rhodes hits a big crossroads spot for a close to count that is broken up just in time. Dustin is covered by Taven, and it short sounded like the ref counted to 3, but the match continues. Now we see another back-to-back quick moment in the spotlight sequence with everyone hitting a big move or spot. Taven hit one of the babyfaces loudly hurt, saying "Where's Sammy?" a few times. Seconds later, we get the finishing spot, which sees Sammy and Dustin finish this one off to give their team the win, the big win. Once the match wraps up, as the good guys are celebrating their win, the bad guys hit the ring and attack them from behind. WWE Hall of Fame legend Cameron Von Erich gets in the ring and puts a claw on anything that moves. Badass. Winners: Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Kajori Shibata, and the Von Erichs. They're winners. All right. Okay, this is a segment thing. Hardy, Cameron, and Saraya and her family came out and stuff, and Saraya's pissed because she didn't make it to the was in the car for All In for this year and stuff, and who returned is Jamie Hayter. So yeah, so Jamie Hayter beat some of the people in the during the segment and stuff. So yeah, so thank guys she's back, and people are upset she's back. Though, stop taking everything so fucking seriously. It's just wrestling. You guys treat them like shit, and they treat people nice. You guys treat them like they're nothing. So, have some self-respect, right? Don't you? Anyways, AEW Trios Championship. This is the first match on the main card. Just so you guys know, AEW Trios Championship London ladder match of Patriarchy, who are the champions, versus the House of Black, versus the Bang Bang Gang, versus Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Yuta. Sorry, I don't know why I laughed. The 0 hour pre-show finished up with the re-entrances for the 4 teams involved in the London ladder match for the AEW Trios Championship. The 4-way Tattletale will kick things off as the first match of the evening on the pay-per-view portion of today's big event. From there, 0 hour wraps up with Excalibur, Tony Giovanni, and the rest of the commentary team, ending the pre-show by telling fans to switch over to pay-per-view for the start of AEW All In London 2024. The pay-per-view then gets started, and we head back to the ring for this match to get started. Ooh, my jaw hurts. Early on, we see all the guys involved in the match brawl in wild fashion. Haven't seen that 100 times already in the show. When things calm down and the actual match gets underway, Colton gets a chop on Claudio as Brody goes for a table from under the ring. Yuta looks to intervene and pays for it with a chop from Brody as Buddy goes into the ring, climbing a ladder that was set up, but Austin stops him. Pac makes his ascension, but Brody rushes in to stop him. Colton and Juice get involved, but are laid out by Brody, who grabs the ladder and folds it up, but takes a drop kick, sending him out of the ring. The ring has now been cleared as Claudio, Yuta, and Buddy Matthews hit a set of dives before Pac climbs up the turnbuckle, launching himself from the top for a black arrow onto the group. Outside, the Guns go after Pat. Robinson steps onto the apron, where the Guns tell him to get the tables, but Pac intervenes. Cage, who hightailed it out of the ringside area as the star comes running down the ramp to set up a ladder, only to be sent right back to the outside where a group of his foes catch him and drop him to the floor. While this come on. While this is going on, Mother Wayne starts to climb to retrieve the title, but is stopped by the Guns, who yell at her to leave the ring. Killswitch comes into the ring, hitting a pair of chokeslams on the Guns before Claudio comes in. Killswitch nearly hits a chokeslam on Castagnoli before Yuta comes in. He takes the chokeslam instead, as he's sent onto the back of Claudio. Killswitch hits Buddy Matthews with one for good measure. As Brody steps onto the apron, Killswitch is unable to hit a chokeslam on his fellow big man, but Nick Wayne rushes in with Wayne's World that sends him and King crashing through the table outside. Killswitch starts climbing the ladder until Cage stops him, insisting on going up to grab the belts himself, but they're stopped by Wheeler Yuta and Brody King tipping the ladder. Yuta gets laid out by King and Black, but the Guns hit Yuta with a 310 to Yuma before turning their attention toward Castagnoli coming in. He blocks the attempt before getting Robinson with a giant swing, which is followed by a black arrow from Pac. The ring is cleared as Claudio climbs the ladder, intercepted by King as the pair do get out until the Guns grab a pair of chairs to knock them off. They and Juice grab some fresh tables from under the ring, propping one up against a turnbuckle and two up properly in the corners before going up the ladders, where Claudio and Brody catch them, sending the Guns through the tables instead. The ring gets cleared once more as Buddy Matthews and Nick Wayne enter the ring, with Wayne sending Matthews out only for Malachi to catch him with the ladder to the face before climbing up. Juice intercepts, but is hung up on the top rope for his troubles as Black goes for another ladder, only to be knocked off the apron. Wayne sees a table propped up against the barricade and makes the best of it with a destroyer that sends Malachi through it. Juice comes into the ring with a tall ladder, setting it up before making the climb, but Cage tips it over, sending Robinson over the top rope to the floor. Pac tries to springboard onto a ladder, but gets sent into him instead, with Cage setting up a chair before slamming Pac into it with a kill switch. Alright, Mother Wayne hands him some sort of spray as Yuta tries to climb the ladder, only to get sprayed in the face by Christian, who then sends him down hard. Juice comes into the ring looking to climb, but turns his attention to Cage with the chair to the face. Mother Wayne tries to spray Juice in the face, but he blocks it with the chair, teasing that he might send her through the table, but Killswitch catches him with the chokeslam onto the table instead, and with it not breaking. This is how we learned that Juice Robinson is the table. And inside the ring, we work our way towards the finishing sequence of what has been a wild opening contest to set the tone for the pay-per-view card. Killswitch helps Cage keep the other teams at bay before helping the patriarch up the ladder to retrieve the titles. Unfortunately, their plan backfires when the bastard Pac hops onto the ladder from out of nowhere. He sends Cage into Killswitch, and the two get tied up in the ropes. These leaves Pac free and clear to ascend the ladder and pull down one of the AEW Trios Championships. The Bell Silence winners and new AEW Trios Champions are the wild card team of Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club duo of Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Good opener. It was a good match. Alright, so winners and new AEW Trios Champions Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta. Let me drink something real quick, guys. I'm so sorry. some energy. All right, AEW Women's Championship. Next match is AEW Women's Championship. Time is Tony Storm, who is the champion, versus Glamour Mara May. The pre-match video package airs for our second pay-per-view bout of the evening, which will feature the AEW Women's World Championship on the line. Back inside Wembley Stadium, the theme for the Glamour Mariah May hits Out she comes for this highly anticipated women's title tilt. Luther the Butler misses a return for the first time since May's violent attack of Times Tony Storm with a high heel, which included him being thrown off the stage by May. He introduces Storm, who gets the grand ring entrance along with the rockstar reaction from the UK crowd as she heads to the square circle. After after the bell sounds, the chants and singing from the crowd immediately spreads throughout Wembley Stadium. The commentators focus on Storm looking distraught and sad about having to do this, while May seems disgusted and evil. The two trade shots to get the physicality started, and then May hits a drop kick, big drop kick. Nacho McGuinness gets funny reactions from Excalibur and Tony Schiavone on commentary as he references Storm's nicknames, the whore you all adore and the slut that you cannot rebut. That was funny. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, May continues to beat down Storm in the corner of the ring, controlling the action in the earlier goings. May hits a big powerbomb to Storm from the ring apron to the floor. Ouch. She poses for the camera with her aw shucks little old me fingertip in the mouth as McGuinness talks about how much he is in love with her as usual. Back in the ring. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. May airplane spins Storm from a side slam and then taunts the crowd once again. Alright, the action continues with May in control of the offense. Things spill out to the floor again, where May stalks with her mother in the crowd. She ends up slapping her mom to the shock and disgust of the commentators. Storm fights back and begins to take over. She hits a wild Storm Zero spot on the steel ring steps that busts open May and starts to shift the offensive momentum in her favor. She heads over and checks on May's mom. When we see May again, she's bleeding and moaning in pain. Schiavone is loving it on commentary to discuss May's biggest fan and adore McGuinness. Storm continues to dominate the action until finally May fights from underneath back into competitive form. She hits a big running hip attack and is now back in full control of things. May hits a Mayday and goes for the cover, but Storm kicks out to keep this one alive. Storm fires up and takes over again and nearly finishes this one a few times. She has a high heel and could easily lay out May, but ultimately decides against it. This backfires on her moments later as May gets back in the offensive driver's seat. She gives Storm on the forehead and hits Storm with her own finishing move to score the pin fall and pick up the victory. The Glamour Mariah May is your new AEW Women's Champion. After the match, May heads over and gives McGuinness a kiss, which obviously pleases him. She heads off and we see Storm in the ring. As things settle in ring, she gets up laughing and fans start singing it for her again. So winner and new AEW Women's Champion, the Glamour Mariah May. Yeah. Alright. Next match is FTW Championship. Chris Jericho, who is the champion, versus Hook. Our third match of the evening is once again another championship bout. The longest reigning for the world champion in the history of professional wrestling. The Living Tree, Chris Jericho, emerges to a live band performing some music. He gets on the mic for a trademark "Hi guys," but he begins his advertised live Fozzy performance ahead of his latest title defense. He sings some song that hasn't been used for anything on AEW programming as best I can recall. As he heads to the ring for his scheduled match, he finishes up in the ring and lets out a trademark "Thanks guys." We then see Hook backstage before his theme hits. A Hook, Hook, Hook chant spreads out throughout Wembley Stadium as his Bill Goldberg pre-entrance routine wraps up. We hear the iconic BBEKG sounds from Taz's old school WWE theme music for a war from the UK crowd before things transition over to the familiar sounds of Action Bronson. The cold-hearted Handsome Devil makes his way to the ring as his pops Taz settles in on commentary for the call for this title tilt. The bell sounds are fish off and running with this one. Immediately, We see FTW play a factor as Jericho goons from the Learning Tree, Big Bill, and Brian Keane blatantly attack Hook in a 3-on-1. Numbers disadvantage shows itself straight out of the gate. Jericho hits a Judas effect and makes the cover, but Hook kicks out at one. Hook hit some explosive suplexes to fight back. The commentators remind us he's fighting with one eye. Alright. Hook keeps tossing bodies left and right until the 3-on-1 advantage shows itself again. Jericho enters a sack full of cricket balls. They use them as weapons, but Hook fights back and suplexes Jericho onto some of them. Hook retrieves the cricket bat and begins choking Jericho with it while getting choked with the bat. Jericho keeps yelling, "Hi guys," to the crowd. Jericho takes back over again and now is his learning tree crew of Bill and Keith begin setting up tables. They pull out barbed wire covered board as well and laid out across the table. Bill tries to choke slam Hook on it, but Hook avoids it and starts fighting back. Jericho goes after the already compromised eye of Hook. Jericho starts toying with Hook, who is swinging at air to his vision issues. All right. For the world champion lays out Hook with a trash can and taunts him before stalking him and sending him up for the Juice effect. Hook avoids it and this time and launches Jericho with a T-bone suplex. Hook removes the bandages on his eye and reveals he actually can't see. So all the punishment he took due to issues were on purpose. Alright, Bill ends up getting knocked out on the apron and he falls like a big red wood tree through the barbed wire covered board table at ringside. Hook seemingly has it won, but more interference stops him. Taz gets annoyed on countering and says if that's how it's going to be, he's getting involved. He stands up and puts the Taz mission on one of Jericho's goons on the floor while Hook locks in Red Rum on Jericho in it for the win. So winner and new FTW champion Hook. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, next match is AEW Tag Team Championship. The Young Bucks, who are the champions, versus FTR versus The Acclaim. The pre-match video sets the stage for our next bout of the evening. In our fourth pay-per-view showdown, we get ready for Telltale. After the road to video wraps up, we hear the familiar sounds of the Midnight Express surrounding theme for FTR. Out comes Dax Harwood and Cash Boone to a big reaction from the Lynn crowd. Out next, the defending AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, duo Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. They dress up like British dudes from the 1800s. Okay, first of all, it's not from the 1800s, and second of all, it's from the Beatles. That's what they're dressing as. That's stuff from the late 1960s. Get your history straight, all right? Learn your history. As they head to the ring with plenty of ruffles on their ring entrance gear, they settle inside the square circle and pose with the titles on the ropes in the corner as their music fades down. Whew. Alright. Now, come on. Now the sounds of the Acclaim's beat drops and out comes Max Caster on the microphone with Andy Bones and Daddy Ass Billy Gunn by his side. He does his freestyle rap routine as the Tree head to the ring for their big title opportunity. The bell sounds official offering. This one, the loud "Oh, scissor me, daddy" spread throughout Wembley Stadium in the ring, kicking things off as a legal man as the match gets underway as Max Caster and Dax Harwood, the two mix it up before the Young Bucks finally return to the ring. FTR and the Acclaim all hit the ring and throw Matthew and Nicholas out to the floor before turning their attention to each other for a while. Man exchange of fisticuffs. Alright, Nicholas blind tags, but Excalibur mistakenly calls him Matthew. Don't worry, I do it all the time. Don't we all? Excalibur, Taz, and Tony Schiavone try and rush into his aid with excuses about how they're brothers and dress similar. We see an assisted slide spread spot, and then Jackson settles into a comfortable offensive lead as fans in Wembley break out in a CM Punk chant. Bowens hits a big move on Jackson, but then walks into a super kick from his brother while losing focus on and playing to the crowd. Caster and Bowens hit a BTE trigger and a shatter machine using both the Bucks and FTR's move for a big pause from the crowd. We see a pin attempt shortly after, but it is broken up. The Bucks take over on the fence, but stop to pump their custom Reeboks before beginning a super kick party. Jackson goes for a cheap shot with a towel belt, but Daddy Ass hits the ring and takes him out with a famed asser onto the belt. Moments later, we work our way to the finish, which sees the Young Bucks hit their EVP trigger on FTR for the pinfall victory. With the win, the Young Bucks are still your AEW Tag Team Champions and the first team to actually retain their belts in a match on the show. After the match, the grizzled young veterans hit the ring and attack FTR as the Bucks escape to the back. So winners and still AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. Alright, next match is Casino Gauntlet. This is going to be kind of a long reading, so here we go. After a video package airs promoting AEW and JPW Forbidden Door 2025 in London, England, we return inside Wembley Stadium where the Dapper Yapper Justin Roberts begins our formal ring introductions and explanations of the rules for the Casino Gauntlet match, where the winner can cash in for a title shot at any time. Plenty of surprises are reportedly expected for this one. Let's see what we got. Orange Cassidy, as advertised, makes his way out as the first entrant in the Casino Gauntlet match. The crowd waits to see who is coming out as the first man to share the ring with the freshly squeezed one. We hear the infamous coin drop, and the crowd absolutely erupts as Rainmaker Kazuchika emerges the AEW Continental Champion. It heads to the ring, and the bell sounds gets us started. Alright, the two mix up for a few minutes with Okada looking to connect with Rainmaker. Almost immediately, the countdown clock appears, and when it winds down, we get our first surprise of the match, and it's a big one. Nacho McGuinness makes his way out to explosive reaction from the London crowd as he returns following years on the sidelines to compete in the Casino Gauntlet for a future shot at the AEW World Championship. The three duke it out for a few moments when the countdown clock appears again. It expires to bring Kyle O'Reilly with two members of the conglomeration. We get a bit of 2-on-2 for a minute or so, then they'll all mix up until the clock appears again. When it wraps up, out comes another surprise. As fresh off his G1 Climax victory comes Zack Sabre Jr. to a big pop from the UK crowd. Alright. Everyone trades shots until the ring is cleared of everyone except McGuinness and Zack Sabre Jr. The two stare each other down for a huge pop from the Wembley crowd. They begin to get after it as fans chant, "This is wrestling." Okada enters the mix and takes out McGuinness and stares down Zack Sabre Jr. He looks for a neck breaker, which Zack Sabre Jr. Avoids at first. Ultimately, Okada connects with it and is selling his right shoulder up upon getting up. He hits a top rope elbow drop on Zack Sabre Jr. Roderick Strong comes out next, and literally seconds later, after he gets involved in the action, he hits a few moves. The clock reappears again. They're even rushing the intervals in this match. What Rush match today has been, it's good in terms of keeping things rolling, but god awful in terms of giving fans a chance to digest anything they soon. Mark Briscoe is out next, followed by Heyman Page. Page goes for a buckshot lariat soon after entering the ring. A few seconds later, the guitar screech hits to bring out Jeff Jarrett. Jeff heads to the ring to a pretty damn healthy crowd pop from the UK fans, many of whom appear to be singing along with the My World chorus of the entrance tune. Jarrett points out at Heyman with his guitar as he heads to the ring. They have an intense stare down and then begin train shot. The countdown clock appears again, and then we get yet another big surprise entrant as former WWE superstar Ricochet makes his way out to the shock and awe of the jam-packed house inside Wembley Stadium and AEW commentary team alike. Ricochet hits the ring and begins flying all over the place, with the commentators pointing out it looks like he's going to fit in just fine in AEW. He was doing a good job during this match. Alright, Christian Cage's theme hits after the next clock countdown wraps up. He makes his way out to the ring, but is splashed by Ricochet, who leaps from the ropes as he was reaching from ringside area. Moments later, moments later, Jeff Jarrett gets another big explosive pop from the crowd by blasting Hangman with his guitar, breaking it over his dome, turning it into 1,000 little toothpick splinters in the process. Killswitch makes his entrance when the next clock expires and immediately plays a factor as he chokeslams O'Reilly into oblivion and puts Cage on top of him for the pinfall victory. With the win, Cage has the right to cash in to challenge for the AEW Championship at any time he wants. So winner is Christian Cage. Damn, man. I was expecting somebody else. Alright, next match. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Next match is AEW American Championship. MJF, who is a champion, versus Will Ospreay. The pre-match video package for our next match of the evening airs to set the stage for one of the most anticipated bouts of the show. As Maxwell Jacob Freeman defends his AEW American Championship against former AEW National Champion Will Ospreay, the video wraps up, and then the aerial assassin makes his special entrance to the ring to an enormous crowd response. He had a Assassin's Creed entrance, which was pretty badass. I enjoyed that one. We hear the familiar sounds of MJF's entrance tune and equally loud, albeit largely negative reaction from the fans inside Wembley Stadium. They sing along to the catchy tune of his theme song as he makes his way out and heads to the squared circle for our next bout of the show. After the long drawn introductions are finished, the bell sounds to get this one for running. Alright. As soon the bell does sound, we see MJF and Ospreay charge at each other and collide in the middle of the ring, trading shots in a wild flurry in the corner of the referee breaks them up, and MJF gets a cheap shot with the thumb to the eye of Ospreay. Ospreay fights back and hits a big dive over the ropes, slashing onto MJF at ringside for the first of what will likely be many high spots in this one. Back inside the ring, MJF ducks a hidden blade attempt by Ospreay, forcing the challenger to stop in his tracks before he hits the ref instead. MJF takes advantage, clubbing at Ospreay before bringing him out of the ring, where he sends the challenger into the barricade. He takes a bite out of the head of Ospreay before getting into the ring to break the ref's count, and then charges at the challenger with the big boot. Ospreay manages to get back to his feet, however, fighting back until the champ sends him to the floor with a back body drop. Alright. Ospreay gets sent back into the ring, but the challenger catches him with a near fall before MJF fights back with a knee into the spine of Ospreay on the backhand of a powerbomb, but it's only good for a 2 count as the challenger kicks out. Ospreay sets for an Os cutter, but is cut by MJF, who catches him with a kangaroo kick instead to a brief pop that changes gears as the champ gets back to his feet. Ospreay slowly gets to his feet, the crowd willing him on as he takes on to the ropes, but MJF gets another cheap thumb to the eye. MJF mocks Ospreay, leading to Will catching him for another near fall before the champ rolls out of the ring to take a breather. Ospreay takes to ropes looking for Suzuki or whatever special, but MJF catches him, counting with a tombstone power driver onto the floor. MJF gets back up, mocking Ospreay for thinking he's special because he can flip before looking for a dive of his own, but it gets cut off by the challenger, who drops him onto the floor for his troubles. Alright. Ospreay sets the champ up on the top rope, forcing him into the ring. After a shooting star press, MJF lands on his back, allowing Ospreay to get the cover for a 2 count. As the champ manages to kick out, Ospreay sets MJF up for the Stormbreaker, but the champ counters with the crossroads for the cover. Ospreay kicks out as MJF looks to follow up with a brainbuster, only for the challenger to counter, hitting a stun dog, followed by the Os cutter. He goes for the pin, but MJF gets his foot on the ropes to keep this one alive. We see Ospreay attempt a Stormbreaker, but MJF counters and drops Ospreay on his dome with the mean power driver for a close 2 count. They slowly get back to their feet, where MJF decks Ospreay with a big right hand. Ospreay fights back, connecting with the Stormbreaker this time, but only getting a 2 count on the follow-up pin attempt. They end up on the floor again, and the cameraman gets bumped. Osprey checks on the cameraman while MJF sneaks the title in the ring. He tries for a cheap shot, but Osprey connects with a kick. After all that, MJF blasts Osprey with a title shot. Anyways, he goes for the cover, but Osprey kicks out. MJF looks for a hidden blade, but Osprey avoids it. They collide into each other and bump the referee out of the ring. With the ref down and out, MJF teases a Tiger Driver 91, but Osprey blocks it. Osprey thinks about doing one, but MJF low blows him. He goes to get brass knuckles, but a masked man stops him, revealing himself to be Daniel Garcia. Osprey hits MJF with a Tiger Driver 91 and gets the win to recapture what is now once again the AEW International Championship. He won't accept the American title after the victory. A bag is brought into the ring by interim EVP Christopher Daniels, which contains the AEW International Championship. Osprey celebrates his big win with the belt. Oh, thank goodness he won. So, winner and new AEW International Champion Will Ospreay. Alright, next match is TBS Championship Mercedes Moné, who is a champion, versus Dr. Britt Baker DMD. The road to pre-match video package airs to get us ready for the next match of the evening, which, like mostly every bout on the card today, features a title on the line. It will be the CEO Mercedes Moné defending her TBS Championship against Dr. Britt Baker DMD. The package wraps up the former AEW Women's Champion Britt Baker heads to the ring to a massive crowd response. Moné gets a big elaborate ring entrance for her walk to the square circle, accompanied by Camille. She does her little CEO dance as she heads in between the ropes to prepare for this highly anticipated showdown. The bell sounds are officially off from this one. A slap in the face leads to an early armbar attempt. The two continue to mix it up, with Moné hitting a dropkick and taunting the crowd with the little dance. Baker fights back and immediately tries securing her lockjaw finisher. Moné escapes and is rescued as Camille pulls her under the bottom ropes and holds her like a cradling baby. Moné slams Baker into the turnbuckle and falls with an elbow strike. Baker comes back with a shot and goes for the Pittsburgh Sunrise, but Camille distracts her, and Moné takes advantage. Moné delivers a backbreaker over the top turnbuckle and goes for the cover, but Baker kicks out. Moné shoves Baker to the outside and gets her right back into the ring and gets a 2 count. Moné drives her knee into Baker's back and then drops her back with a side slam for a 2 count. Baker fights back and with elbow strikes, but Moné drops her with another backbreaker and gets another 2 count. Moné delivers another backbreaker and then stretches Baker over her knee. Baker delivers knee strikes to get free and follows with a backbreaker. Baker delivers a ripcord elbow strike and tries to pick Moné up, but her back gives out. Moné delivers the three amigos and goes for the cover, but Baker kicks out at two. Moné drives her knees into Baker's back and goes up top, but Baker cuts her off. Baker delivers a few right hands, but Moné counters out and slams Baker back into the mat. Moné goes for a splash, but Baker gets her knees up to the counter. Baker goes for a stomp, but Moné counters with a powerbomb for a 2 count. Moné runs the ropes, but Baker drops her with a cutter. Baker picks Moné up. Moné sends her to the corner and charges her double knees. Baker charges and Moné hits the turnbuckles, and then Baker delivers a neck breaker. Baker drops Moné with a sling blade and follows with a double underhook slam for a 2 count. Baker puts her glove on and goes for a lockjaw, but Moné rolls through and gets a 2 count. Moné slams Baker down and goes for the cover, but Baker kicks out at 2 again. Moné puts on Baker's glove and clubs her in the back. Baker counters with an air raid crash and gets a 2 count before Moné kicks out to keep this one alive. Alright, Baker lands some punches before taking back her glove. She ends up looking for another air raid crash, but Moné fights out only for Baker to counter out of a Moné maker. Moné manages to drop Baker to the canvas before pulling her toward the corner. She climbs the turnbuckle, kicking Baker in the back until Baker intercepts her on the turnbuckle. They go at it until Baker counters an avalanche. Avalanche body slam and one of her own for a near fall. with Camille getting Mercedes' foot under the rope to stop the count. The ref deals with Camille as Monet gets the TBS title belt before she can use it. The referee catches her with it while the ref is busy dealing with that. Camille looks to nail Baker with the NJPW Strong Women's title belt, only for Baker to avoid getting hit with it. Ultimately, outsmart her, getting the referee's attention, who catches Camille with the belt and ejects her from ringside. For a big crowd pop, Baker goes after Monet, looking for the win. As the crowd noise picks up inside Wembley Stadium, Baker slams Monet's face into the turnbuckle and then hits the Pittsburgh Sunrise. She delivers a stomp and goes for the cover, but Monet kicks out. Baker goes for a lockjaw, but Monet rolls toward the ropes. Baker rolls back over and goes for a lockjaw again, but Monet bites her fingers and rolls her up for a 2 count. They each go for back to back roll of attempts before Monet slams Baker face first into the turnbuckle, top turnbuckle. She follows up by connecting with Monet, Maker finisher for the pinfall victory with the win. Monet is still the TBS champion. Man, I want to put Baker to win. So winner is still TBS champion Mercedes Monet. Alright, TNT Championship coffin match. Jack Perry, who is the champion, versus Darby Allin. Alright guys, we're almost finished here. We are getting close to the main event. The ring entrances for our co-main event of the evening gets underway with Darby Allin, giant fluffy jacket and all, makes his way out and has to ring like Hellraiser. I didn't see the pins that he have in his face at first until last couple of minutes. Anyways, he's got thumbtacks on the face before the match begins. Reigning and defending TNT champion, the Scapegoat Jack Perry also makes his way out, and as he reaches the ringside area, Darby launches onto him to get the fight off with a bang. Out at ringside on the floor, we see the two brawling as Perry starts to take over control of the offense. Allin cuts it short and leans a coffin against a podium-style table. He heads into the ring and runs and dives through the ropes, but Perry moves and Allin crashes and burns on the coffin. He brings the fight back into the ring and pulls a bag that has Scapegoat written on it in with him. Perry opens the bag to unveil a pile of glass, falls onto the canvas. UK fans sing "Oh, cry me a river" chant as a callback to last year's controversy at All In between himself and CM Punk. Perry looks to slam Darby onto the glass, but Darby counters and slams Perry on it instead. On the outside, Perry grabs a roll of tape to bind Darby's hands. Darby manages to fight back once more, however, going after the champ as the crowd wails him on. Perry turns things around as the fight goes up the ramp and Perry drops him onto the ramp before pulling the challenger's belt off his wrist. He whips Darby before restraining his feet, mocking Darby's situation as Allin struggles back up to a standing position, only for Perry to throw him off from the stage. Darby crashes through a table, allowing Perry to head down the ramp to grab the coffin, but opts instead to grab the body bag as he heads back up toward Darby. He opens the bag open, getting Darby into it before zipping the bag closed. Perry then starts dragging Darby down the ramp toward the coffin, opening it to get Darby in it, but Darby avoids it. Perry hits a running knee that puts Darby back down and sends him into the coffin. He closes the lid shortly after that to pick up the victory with the win. The Scapegoat Jack Perry is still your TNT champion. After the match, Perry tries to set Darby on fire, but the Icon State makes a surprise return to prevent it from happening. So winner is still TNT champion Jack Perry. Okay, what it is saying here is the Young Bucks joined Jack Perry before Steen came out and saved Darby Allin. Okay, main event time finally. AEW Championship, Swerve Strickland, who is a champion, versus Bryan Danielson. Main event time. We're 5.5 hours into the show, and it's finally time for our final match of the evening. The pre-match video package airs to tell the emotional story leading up to this one, which is a career versus title match, with Bryan Danielson putting his iconic career on the line in an attempt to capture the AEW World Championship from reigning title holder Swerve Strickland. When it wraps up, we hear the sound of Europe's final countdown as the legendary American Dragon Bryan Danielson heads to the ring to a packed house inside Wembley Stadium, singing along with the catchy tune. This has a big fight feel for sure. After he settled in the ring, his music dies down, and we get a special grand entrance for the current top dog in the men's singles division, All Elite Wrestling. Swerve comes out in a special gear, looking like MVP if he wore black and gold. Prince Nana introduces some special guests, and out comes some rappers to perform the Trill OG remix to his Swerve When I Drive theme. Big Bun raps away as the four head to the ring with Nana doing the goofy dance, but always entertaining dance. The Dabber Yabber Justin Roberts handles the final formal pre-match ring introductions for the champion and challenger, and this one gets started. Just the bell ring alone with a near unanimous standing ovation and warlike pop from the crowd. Jim Ross sells in on special guest commentary alongside the gang on the call for the headline bout. His first word at the bell is bringing up signing Danielson to his first contract in WWE many moons ago. Meanwhile, Danielson and Swerve began mixing up train chops and and going nose to nose as fans get a "Let's go, Brian" spreading through the building. I'm sorry. Swerve glares out over at Brie Danielson and the rest of Brian's family in the crowd. Speaking of which, as Cabra points out, Danielson's daughter Birdie can be heard loudly screaming with pleasure and fear each time Danielson hits and gets hit, noting it has to be having some effect on the American Dragon. Swerve is controlling the action thus far, focusing on his early offensive attack on the leg of Blackpool Combat Club member. Swerve hits a Death Valley driver to Danielson on the ring bell. Now we see Danielson's family play a factor again as Swerve brings Danielson out directly in front of them at ringside, holds his hands and stomps the hell out of him, inches away from his wife and kid before directly verbally taunting them. He goes back to work on Danielson and grinds away at a cut on his head. As his face quickly turns into a crimson mask with blood free flowing down to his chin once again, right in front of his family. Alright. Danielson fights back and gets the label lock on Swerve, who fights, allowing it get fully applied. Danielson continues to settle into offensively. He brings Swerve up the very top rope and hooks his arms behind his back. He connects with the insane tiger suplex off the top rope that drops Swerve on the back of his head and neck. Danielson grabs Swerve's hands and Ronnie Garvin style stomps the hell out of him. Swerve fights back and hits a modified vertebreaker that gets the commentators using their serious somber voices and the ringside medics to rush to the ring to check on Danielson's condition. We see replays, and then eventually Swerve starts getting rid of the medical people and going back to work on Danielson. He tries to finish things off moments later, but Danielson manages to kick out before the count of 3 to keep this one alive. Alright, the AEW champion backs up, stalks Danielson, and kills the crowd energy with a big house call and another. He taunts and stalks Swerve, who is down and out again. He glares over at Danielson's family once again to taunt them. Danielson avoids a Swerve slump and fights back as the crowd comes to life. In the background, he hits a big spot and then slaps a triangle choke on Swerve while elbowing the piss out of him. He leads the crowd in a yes chant and then connects with a Bajusku knee, how you want to say it. Swerve essentially no sells Danielson's Bajusku knee finisher and goes right back to work on Danielson, beating the living crap out of him and seemingly finishing him off. He goes for the cover and the crowd reacts at the kick out like they legitimately expected things to be over there as well. As Cabra says, it's the first time anyone has kicked out of big pressure from Swerve. Hangman Page appears at ringside from the crowd and launches Nana in the air. He stares down Swerve, but security takes him away before he can do anything. Oh man, when Heyman Page shows up, I was like, no, please don't ruin it. Please don't fucking ruin this match. you know. All right. Anyways, regardless, during that time, Danielson recovered and is in position for a big move. Swerve turns around and is run over by a huge Bazooska knee from Danielson, who immediately goes for the cover, but only gets two. Fans break out and a loud "This is awesome" chant, and the two began trading shots with the crowd cheering. Then Danielson connects and booing when Swerve does. He hits a third knee and then secures a label lock at the crowd. Goes completely and totally insane in the background. Swerve nearly escapes, but Danielson slaps on the S grip and tightens the squeeze, getting the tap and the victory as the crowd erupts with an insanely loud explosion. Erupts. Europe's final countdown plays again as the celebration begins. Brian Danielson's career is not over. Not only is it not over, he's now your new AEW World Champion. Excellent main event. Yeah, that was a good match, man. Alright, the commentators say tonight this is the first time Swerve ever tapped out Danielson's family, and new AEW Trios champions from the BCC, Claudio Castaway and Weird Yuta, join Danielson in the ring as fireworks explode and confetti falls from the heavens. Fans sing along with the final countdown as Jim Ross thanks his fellow commentators for having him. Excalibur then wraps things up. That's how AEW All In London transfer goes off the air and stuff. So winner and new AEW champion Bryan Danielson. Thank goodness, man, he won. I'm happy. That was a good match, though. So, yeah, good match. I enjoyed it. Yeah, there's some good matches in on the show and stuff. So, pay per view. But anyways, again, I'm sorry I didn't finish making this video and stuff. And I wasn't me. It was the camera that kept on going off twice when I was making the video and stuff by redoing it all over again, reading everything. Well, almost everything, because yeah, I had to restart till now. So anyways, thank goodness didn't the camera didn't mess up and stuff. So anyways, good show yesterday already. So Sunday. So good show tonight and stuff. And yeah, it didn't finish till 4 o'clock where I'm at. So yeah, and that's what that time I was gonna make the video, but I don't know. But yeah, I got pissed off on the second time. So anyways, again, I'm sorry. It's not my fault that the camera messed up and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, that was it for this video. Hope you like it or not, whatever. I don't care, you guys want to do. But anyways, that was it. Hit that bell button. Like, subscribe, favorite, leave a comment and stuff. If you guys want to leave a comment, I don't care what you guys do. Whatever. Anyways, that was it. And I'll see you guys in the next video for Monday Night Raw. Alright? Laters.